You're listening to Poetry Slam with Bellz.
Your boy Napoleon B. Mate.
And TayDZ.
Tay, you always trip me out with your intros.
I try my best. I can't settle on one. I gotta keep testing all of them out.
Okay.
How many do you think you have? Like 1,000? 100?
Infinite.
You must be a great impressionist.
No. I just do me. Just do me. But I have been tasked with opening the show. So it looks like it's time for
Poetry News with TayDZ.
Hey y'all. I am indeed TayDZ. Did you know that there may or may not be several haters amongst our midst in society? And all these haters will conspire against you, perhaps even to ruin your day, to ruin your shine, to make your career extra useless. Well, if you're Cat Williams, then you should already know the Illuminati's out to get you. I try my best.
How do we know he's not the leader of the Illuminati?
Well,
wait, who?
It's Cat Williams, famous comedian, specifically at his height in the 2000s. That man was one of the best comedians out. I'm not gonna lie.
2005.
Wait, was
2005 was like peak Cat Williams.
Was. B-Mate, are you a Cat Williams fan?
He still is.
You're in the fan base? Oh man.
B-Mate.
Hey, give us the news because this is about to go off the tracks.
B-Mate. Name me the last Cat Williams special that was out.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, no, it has been a minute.
That was the name of it?
No. But it's been a minute. It's been a minute since he's had a special. But right. he still is on the top.
You know what? You said that and then you faded into the darkness. So that's kind of making me skeptical of what you said. But I think one of his recent specials was political because I have Netflix and he did have a special on Netflix recently. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know the name of it because I've never watched a full Cat Williams special. I'm not anti-Cat. However, I'm not pro-Cat. I'm just a spectator, frankly.
Well, Cat Williams was on Club Shannon Sharp's podcast recently, and the man had a few gripes to let out on the show. One of his biggest ones being that Cat feels as if Cedric the Entertainer, now he's been saying this for a while now, Cedric the Entertainer is still one of his jokes. Now, when you look at the joke that Cat Williams told back in maybe the late 90s, early 2000s on BET Comic View, if you look at the joke that Cat Williams told, and then you look at how Cedric tells it on Kings of Comedy, yeah, it's about the same. Apparently the story was that Cedric went to the a comedy club or one of the shows that Cat, back when he was called Cat in the Hat. And yeah, I know, right? Cat in the Hat. And
I just want to say, before you go on, that Cedric has actually spoken about this joke, and he has said that he did not steal the joke, and he said that Cat wasn't even like on his radar, and he had been telling that joke for like 6-7 years. Like that was like an old joke sort of thing. So he was saying it wasn't Cat's joke, and Cat wasn't really even on the scene.
So
that's Cedric's defense.
Either Cedric stole the joke or Cat stole the joke, because somebody had to steal the joke. Yeah, who stole the joke first? Wait, who came first then?
Well, it's possible that they had the similar content. It's possible.
The joke is very
who's
similar.
the originator of the joke? Because they're telling the same joke, but Cedric's saying it wasn't even Cat's.
The difference between Cedric and Cat is between Cedric's claim and Cat's claim is that we have video proof of Cat performing it first. We have video proof. Now we don't know if Cedric is lying or not. We don't know if Cat is lying or not. But what I will say about Cat is that even if he isn't lying about that, there's a lot of other things that Cat Williams is capping about that, quite frankly, we do need to address, because see, comedy, just like poetry, is a written verbal art form. You have to understand your flow. You practice it a million times before you were performing in front of a live crowd. And
freestyle, it's like,
yeah, indeed. Some poetry's freestyle, some comedy's freestyle. Gotta be good on the fly. It's a performance art. It's all performance art. And so, when you steal another person's poem, like let's say for instance, Bellz, you went to a B Might performance, and you're like, you know what, I like that flow. Bear with me. And you went to a B Might performance.
That was Taylor's reaction. Don't tell me about his reaction.
No, I'm talking about your reaction, Kay.
Anyway, the other way around.
If you go to a show with B Might is performing, you're like, I like B Might's flow here. I kind of like the content he's putting out. And you decide for your next few performances in front of a bigger crowd, you perform that poem. B Might's going to be upset. He's going to very likely be upset. Now, granted, in this scenario, B Might later on becomes a big name in his own right. So at the end of the day, it's like, well, hey, this B Might's still big. And that same thing, like, hey, Cat Williams, at least you still made it. You have a million other jokes. So I do get, if that joke was stolen, I get that. However, then he went on to say that Steve Harvey stole his comedian's joke from the 90s. I don't remember his name, but he was a star of Hang with Mr. Cooper. And
Mark Cooper.
Is that his name? Okay. Yeah. They're saying Steve Harvey, he said, Cat Williams is claiming that Steve Harvey stole his routine. Because if you look at Hang with Mr. Cooper and then you look at the Steve Harvey show, there are similar premises. A guy who used to do something big retires and goes into teaching, at a school, wears a big old suit, flat top, hairstyle, And I guess if you look at it, yeah, there's some similarities, but I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe Steve was inspired. It's not like Hanging with Mr. Cooper did bad. Hanging with Mr. Cooper lasted for like 5 seasons. So it's like, and Steve Harvey show lasted for about 6 seasons. So it's like, Hanging with Mr. Cooper did not lose shine because Steve Harvey made the Steve Harvey show.
Exactly.
So I feel like Cats.
Maybe it was a thing of like that was on trend, because there was a time in the 90s where Black comedians were getting sitcoms.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Black sitcoms are family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Steve Harvey having a similar show around the same time isn't really a big deal because things go on trend.
Right. And it's sort of like saying it's not like back in the 90s you had Living Single and then you had Friends, which was basically just the white Living Single. and Friends went on to do a lot better. I'm not lying, y'all. Every black person knows that Living Single. That Friends is just a black Living Single. Let's be real with ourselves.
That's true.
But like, like similar concepts come out all the time. And once again, I'm not saying Cat Williams is a liar. Steve Harvey may very well have been inspired by Cooper and made the Steve Harvey show based on that inspiration. But it doesn't mean that Steve Harvey is this giant liar who just sold his soul. Steve Harvey worked hard to get to where he got to. And Steve Harvey has like a million other businesses. He doesn't have to just steal people's stuff just to be famous. He's Steve Harvey.
Exactly. That's why I don't really get the premise that he's so, because a lot of not just black shows were coming out with the same premise, but like a lot of shows in general were coming around with the same premise that are like older retired like or basketball player, comedian, stuff like that. Even though I don't think comedians ever retire, to be honest with you. But it was around the premise that somebody retires
and goes into teaching.
Right. And it was a lot of shows around that time that did that.
Freaking, if we really want to be darn anal about it, Hanging with Mr. Cooper and the Steve Harvey show both took from freaking what was that show called again? Welcome Back, Kotter, or whatever it was called back in the 70s. It was a sitcom where a guy retired and went back and went to go teach. Like, it's not this concept that Cooper just invented out the thin air. It's been a thing for a minute. Exactly. So
Tilly, that show you just referenced is the main character white?
Yes. Welcome Back, Kotter, the main character is white. If you ever heard the song Welcome Back, that's,
Oh yeah.
That's the theme song.
I haven't seen it, but maybe a part of it is that both of the guys are African American comedians.
That's really it. That's really it. They're just both black. So Cat Williams they're both black and they came out around the same time. So Cat Williams just did 1 + 1 and got fish. So, it doesn't nothing that, then he goes on to talk about how, he's the only black celebrity who didn't sell his soul to the Illuminati, and he prides himself on his untouched manhood, if you will.
He said his virgin butthole.
Hey, you said it, not me. His he might just faded into the background. He man was gone.
Yeah, that's what he said. He was like, they're mad. He said his goal was to get to his level in Hollywood, maintaining his virgin star and not having an eggplant emoji in his mouth.
Yeah, he apparently his untouched chocolate starfish is his pride. He really feels proud about that. Congratulations, Cat Williams.
He said this multiple times in his interview.
Did Cat Williams do drugs back in the day?
Yes.
Yes.
I think the drugs are starting to get to him.
So look, on that point, it seemed like he was braggadocious about, not being caught doing hard drugs like other comedians had, or, being very drunk and, doing drugs. But today, I saw an old Breakfast Club snippet of Kevin Hart. He was it was like 5 years ago. He did an interview on the Breakfast Club and he spoke about Cat Williams, and Because Cat Williams accused Kevin Hart of being an industry plant. Like Cat Williams, I think at the time was saying that because he didn't want to accept the deals Hollywood was making to him, they got Kevin Hart, another short African American comedian, to take his spot because Kevin was willing to do it for whatever money, right? But Kevin responded to that on the Breakfast Club saying, oh, Cat, he had lots of opportunities to rise up in Hollywood and he turned them down, and he didn't take his shots because he was doing hard drugs. Like that's what messed him up. He was on drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then flash forward to now, he's talking about he never did that.
The drugs. The drugs are right.
They're starting to take effect.
Yeah.
They definitely are.
Damn.
So, I mean, amongst other things, he called Kim Kardashian a whore.
It was crazy though. Like, because he said the full word in this interview, and Shannon is just sitting there like, I might have to move this along with another question, like, because like,
and then
how did it
amongst
get there?
he said that we are to blame for Kanye's downgrading of mental stability because we allowed him to call himself a god. He said that between him and Ludacris.
Charlamagne the God. I mean, I feel like people in hip hop do that all the time. Like they're always.
But you have to remember, Kanye is mentally unstable.
Very much so. He's been
so.
Right.
So, it makes sense. Cat made sense on that point.
And he also said that the Illuminati had to choose between him and Ludacris to basically defile. He proceeded to state that apparently Ludacris is in all these movies and Fast and Furious because of some Illuminati sacrifice or whatever between it was either going to be him or it was going to be Cat. He said that
can you imagine Cat Williams in a Fast and Furious movie?
No, yes, that's the reason. He said it's because of the Illuminati. The Illuminati.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I think you're onto something. Like I didn't really think like this before, but now that I'm hearing this, like I think it is drugs. And like Ludacris did respond to Cat's remarks in a freestyle, and he was like, I'm not a part of the Illuminati, like for those who are wondering.
But can you really like sit there and imagine Cat Williams in a Fast and Furious movie, in the Fast and Furious franchise?
No.
It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked anyway.
Also, he really doesn't like Kevin Hart. He calls Kevin Hart an industry plant. He felt like Kevin just popped up out of nowhere on Soul Plane one day, which is a lie, by the way. He didn't just show up on Soul Plane one day. Kevin Hart had a movie before Soul Plane, believe it or not. It was called Paper Soldiers. And it had a lot of big name black people in it, like Jay-Z, Dame Dash, like back in the early 2000s. People who were associated with like Rockefeller. So
Paper Soldier.
Yeah, it's called Paper Soldier.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Mm-hmm. I knew about this movie a while ago. I didn't make the one-in-one connection, like, oh my gosh, that's Kevin Hart when I was younger. When I found out, I was like, oh my gosh, that is Kevin Hart. And when you look at it, it's not like a huge role, but he has a role. And obviously that's probably like how he first got his name out there was through that movie.
Right.
Kevin Hart just didn't show up on Soul Plane out of nowhere. Like Cat Williams needs to lay off the bath salts and I know someone's gonna probably say, well, you know what, you're just trying to put down a black man who hasn't sold out. And it's like, no, I'm trying to find common sense in all the buffoonery because we don't need to we do need to stick together. Yes, we need to stick together. Absolutely right. That is a true statement. However, when you chalk up everyone's success to the Illuminati, you
Yeah.
put down other people's grind. And then you say you're the only person in Black Hollywood who was untouched and wasn't soiled and didn't have your butthole touched and all this crazy stuff. And it's like, well, if you're the only one, then surely you should have. I mean, you're not being put down by the Illuminati, Cat Williams. You didn't take advantage of certain opportunities.
Exactly.
Is
Exactly.
if
That was
if
that was
every
Kevin's criticism. He was like, "At what point does he take accountability?"
right, like everyone's butthole was touched. Every black person in Hollywood butthole was touched. Is that just how that works now, Kevin Hart?
Ew, wait a minute. Can we get off that? Can we,
That's his like
but
defining thing here. That Black Hollywood just had all their butts touched, and that's how they're famous. Like that is his defining thing here. He's the only one who didn't defile himself. And it's like, well, Kevin, it's like, well, if that's true, then you're telling me that Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Sidney Poitier, I mean, who's not
Fact.
even a comedian, but Sidney Poitier, all of Black Hollywood, all these famous Black people, all of a sudden, they're only famous because they kowtowed to the white man or because they, you know, like the only person he actually defends in this whole thing is Nick Cannon. So I guess between him and
well,
Nick Cannon
What?
were undefiled.
he gave DL Hughley compliments. He said that he was very funny. He also said that Bernie Mac was very funny. He was the
Mm-hmm.
funniest king of comedy.
Mm-hmm. Which
But
yeah, I
he
kind
took
of agree
shots
with.
at more people than anything else. Like he went for Michael Blackson, Earthquake. He went for Cedric the Entertainer,
Wait,
Steve
wait, wait, wait,
Harvey.
wait, 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 wait.
He went. Oh, he gave
wait.
Taraji compliment. Well, he didn't say anything negative about Taraji.
He pretty much said freak or screw uh Tyler Perry and Medea.
Mm, yeah, he doesn't like the black men dressing up trope in media, which I mean, give or take, I guess. I'm not mad at anyone who has that opinion or not.
Yeah.
Spike Lee also had the same opinion. He called it coonery buffoonery. So take that for what you will.
It's okay if you don't put what you in there. But in the interview, he was acting like, he was insulted when Martin presented the Big Mama 2 script to him. And he was like, "You want me to put on a dress too? Who do you think I am?" Sort of
oh,
attitude.
oh, speaking of that, there was an interview that had Dave Chappelle that said Dave Chappelle put out a movie or pitched a movie to Martin Lawrence called Blue Streak before the Big Mamas came out.
Mm. What was it called?
Blue Streak.
Blue Street.
Streak.
Blue Street.
Blue Streak.
So was that supposed to be Dave Chappelle in a dress?
I think it was supposed to still be Martin Lawrence, but
Mm-hmm.
hold up.
Because I remember Dave Chappelle first got his big break in Hollywood on Robin Hood Men in Tights, I believe.
Oh, yeah. So, this is an actual movie.
Mm-hmm.
Director Les Mayfield. Um, I don't know. Where did TayDZ go?
He left.
Um,
It's like, I don't know. He
um,
didn't say anything before he left.
well, I, uh, I, I was gonna
Hey,
say,
everybody, welcome back.
I was gonna say, I am, I have my own freezer. Yes, The B mic freezer still exists.
Mhm.
It's still
Hey.
the B mic freezer. Um, I I have a video. I couldn't get it directly from Instagram, but I can show it from my phone, I think. Um it it has a man leaping over a bench, not the judge's bench, to attack the judge during his sentencing. So I'm gonna read the synopsis and I'm gonna show the video. So according to 8 News now. Okay, wait, hold on. Deborah Redding. Uh, Deborah was in court for his sentencing. Deborah, Deborah, Deborah. I think his name is Deborah. Oh, let's skip the man's name for now. Um, he man was in court for sentencing on the charge of attempted battery with substantial bodily harm. His attorney requested for probation for his client, even argued for a suspended sentence, reportedly citing previous completions of probation programs, his mental health, and backgrounds, to which the judge denied. I appreciate that, but I think it's time I think it's time he get a taste of something else. The judge explained, because I just can't with that history. He is then seen jumping over the bench to attack her. So here's the video. Hold up. 1 second.
Gonna turn off the background.
Yeah. Hold up. 1 second.
I will also say that video went viral so fast. That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh, you had to restart it, B Mike.
Wait. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Oh.
Look.
Mm-hmm. Now, I just want to say that took some athleticism. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that man had hops because he cleared that bench pretty well.
Nah, for real, he did clear the bench. The fact that the bench didn't even touch him, though.
No,
he,
exactly. He should have used his skills to go be an Olympic hurdler because that man's impressive. That was actually very impressive.
or a football player, shoot.
Yeah, he could have been a football. He could have been a lineman, a linebacker, a safety. I mean, oh, what are you doing with your life? Like,
He should have been a linebacker. He could have been playing for the Ravens.
Man just hit an Undertaker dive over the bench onto.
Or he could have been a wrestler. He could have been a professional wrestler.
Professional wrestler. Like, sucks that he got. I mean, I'm glad he got sentenced. He deserved that. But sucks to see a young athlete, not living to his potential.
Sad. Wait, so why did he do it?
Because he didn't want to be sentenced. He didn't like the sentence that the judge was handing down to him. So he thought attacking the judge would be better.
Yeah, that's how that
Man.
works.
He could have been a wrestler. He could have really been a wrestler for all that. Like he wouldn't have been as charged with aggravated battery.
Not really. Take that skill somewhere else, Brody. What you doing? Hey, what?
These people out here don't know what opportunities they're missing out on just to beat people up.
Yeah, but judge. What's your problem?
You can be a wrestler and beat people up.
Man could have been an MMA, hit a flying Superman punch on somebody with that kind of athleticism. Come on now.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
Okay, any comments? Cause you just let
I mean, that was crazy. I mean, a part of me is like, dang, the judge didn't see that coming, but he did come from below.
Mm-hmm.
So
shoot, she probably didn't.
It just seems like the judge could have been like, what? But like,
she probably didn't see that. She probably didn't see that man clearing that bench like that.
No.
Shoot, I wouldn't have either. I would have been like, oh, he gonna go around. He gonna go around. Oh snap!
He had one shot and he took it fully.
Exactly.
He said, "Let me go ahead. I'm already going to jail. Let me get some licks in real quick." Crazy. Now that man gonna be in jail the rest of his life.
Right. Exactly.
That's sad.
Isn't it? That was a nice freezer, B, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was a
you.
good move.
So, is that all for today?
Yeah.
Okay. This has been
We're at
Poetry.
32. Sorry.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. This has been Poetry Slam with
K-Bellz!
your boy Napoleon B. Mate.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh, let me try that. And TayDZ.
Good night, everybody.